Chosen one, there comes a time in your journey when the whispers in your spirit are not just imagination, but warnings meant to guide and protect you. Deep inside, you may have felt the urge to let go, to walk away from a connection that feels complicated, draining, or too heavy to carry. Yet something keeps pulling you back, reminding you that this person still holds a place in your story. That tension is not without meaning. It is a divine signal, a reminder that giving up is not always the solution. Sometimes the very bond you want to release is the one designed to shape you, teach you, and ultimately lead you to a greater purpose. This is why you feel unsettled when you think of letting go, because heaven itself is warning you not to give up just yet. Chosen one, you know what it feels like to carry the weight of someone who tests your patience, who challenges your heart, who brings both joy and struggle into your life. And in moments of weakness, the temptation to walk away grows strong. But ask yourself, why does the thought of abandoning them bring more pain than staying? Why does the idea of closing the door feel like betraying something deeper than words can explain? That is because your connection is not ordinary. It is not casual. It is divinely marked, and that mark comes with responsibility. When God warns you not to give up on that person, it is because there is unfinished work between you. There are lessons still to be learned, love still to be given, healing still to be received. Chosen one, you may not see it clearly now, but there is a reason your paths have not fully separated. Every time you try to distance yourself, life brings you reminders, dreams, or encounters that pull you back. It is as if the universe refuses to let the story end here. That resistance is not by chance. It is guidance. It is the unseen hand redirecting you, urging you to be patient, to endure, to trust that the bond is not meaningless. Yes, it may hurt. Yes, it may confuse you. But hidden within that pain and confusion is growth that could not come any other way. Chosen one, do not underestimate the role of timing in your story. Sometimes the very person you are ready to walk away from is the one meant to stand with you when the future unfolds. If you leave too soon, you may miss the breakthrough that only perseverance could bring. This is why the warning is so urgent. Because destiny knows what your eyes cannot yet see. And though you may feel tired, though your spirit may long for release, remember that surrendering too soon can cost you blessings you have prayed for. Hold on, not blindly, but faithfully, because there is more at stake than you realize. Chosen one, the world around you may not understand this burden. They may tell you to move on, to forget, to free yourself, but their advice does not carry the weight of your purpose. They cannot feel the pull you feel, because the bond is not theirs to carry. Only you can discern the whispers in your heart, and only you can recognize when God Himself places a warning before you. Do not let outside voices distract you from what you know deep within. This person, as complicated as they may be, is tied to your growth, your faith, and your unfolding destiny. Chosen one, before we go deeper, take a moment to breathe in what this message is speaking into your spirit. This is not just another video to pass time. This is a divine call meant to reach you exactly where you are. That is why I invite you to stay with me until the very end, because there are powerful messages waiting that are designed to speak directly to your heart. And right now, I encourage you to release your most sincere wishes into the universe. Write them in the comments below and place the number 777 beside them. As you do, know that you are not just typing words, you are planting seeds. You are sending energy into the unseen, declaring that your desires are alive and your faith is unshaken. And if you have not already, subscribe to this channel, because this journey is meant to be walked together. Your energy, your intention, and your presence here are part of something much greater than you realize. Chosen one, there are moments when you feel torn between holding on and letting go. Your heart whispers one thing, while your mind screams another. You may look at this person and see flaws, mistakes, or pain they have caused you, and the thought of continuing feels heavy. Yet something deep within keeps telling you not to release them just yet. That conflict is not weakness, it is divine tension. It is a warning from God, urging you to see beyond what is visible. Sometimes the very person you are ready to give up on is the vessel through which you will receive your greatest breakthrough. Walking away too soon may seem easier, but it robs you of lessons, healing, and blessings that only perseverance can unlock. Chosen one, think of the moments where you almost let go, but something stopped you. Maybe it was a dream that reminded you of them. Maybe it was a message that felt like it was speaking directly to your heart. Maybe it was the quiet stirring of your soul that whispered, "Not yet." Those signs are not random. They are messages, gentle warnings to wait, to endure, to trust that there is more to this story than what you can see. You are not being asked to suffer without reason. You are being asked to trust in the unfolding of divine timing. Chosen one, it is easy to assume that difficulty means it is time to quit. The world tells you that if something is hard, it must not be right. But the truth is, the most meaningful connections are often the ones that challenge us the most. They refine us, stretch us, and bring us face to face with parts of ourselves we would rather ignore. This is not punishment. It is transformation. And if you give up on that person too soon, you might miss the very transformation that was meant to elevate you. That is why the warning comes so strongly. Do not dare to give up, because there is something sacred hidden beneath the struggle. Chosen one, you must also understand that patience is not weakness. It takes strength to hold on when everything in you wants to let go. It takes faith to believe that the bond you carry still has meaning when others tell you to walk away. But you are not like others. You have been given a sensitivity to hear warnings others cannot hear, to feel guidance others ignore. That gift is why you must trust the pull inside you. It is not a trap, it is direction. Every time you resist the urge to cut the tie prematurely, you are aligning yourself with a greater plan that will reveal itself in time. Chosen one, the universe does not waste connections. If this person were not meant to play a role in your journey, their presence would not still press on your heart. The fact that you cannot shake them from your spirit is evidence enough that their role is unfinished. And though it may not look like it now, the bond between you carries more purpose than pain. Stay open, stay faithful, and trust the warning. Do not let go just yet. Chosen one, when God places a warning in your spirit, it is never without reason. You may not see the full picture yet, but you can feel the pull. That inner voice that whispers, "Do not give up on them," is not your imagination. It is divine alignment speaking directly to your soul. Many times you have tried to silence it, to explain it away, to convince yourself that walking away is best. And yet, every time you prepare to close the door, something happens to stop you. It is as if heaven itself intervenes, reminding you that the story is not finished. That kind of interruption is sacred, and it is a sign you cannot ignore. Chosen one, you know how heavy this bond has been. You have cried because of it, questioned yourself because of it, and wondered if you are strong enough to keep holding on. But think about this. Why would God keep sending you reminders, warnings, and signs if it were meaningless? If the connection was only meant to harm you, it would have been removed long ago. The fact that it remains, despite the storms, is proof that there is more hidden beneath the surface. Sometimes the most painful ties are the ones that birth the greatest transformation, both in you and in the other person. Letting go too soon would mean aborting a blessing before it has had the chance to grow. Chosen one, your intelligence and discernment allow you to see what others cannot. Where others might see only flaws, you see potential. Where others might see failure, you see lessons. And that vision is not by chance. It is one of your gifts. It is why you are able to stand when others would collapse, to believe when others would doubt. God has entrusted you with this ability so that you could hold on when everyone else would let go. It is not easy. but it is necessary. Because this person, flawed as they may be, is tied to your destiny in a way that even you cannot fully understand yet. Chosen one, remember that growth rarely happens in comfort. The people who stretch us the most are often the ones who are meant to play the greatest roles in our lives. This is why you cannot run from this bond. It is molding you. It is forcing you to develop patience, compassion, and strength you didn't know you had. It is teaching you how to love beyond convenience, how to forgive beyond reason, and how to trust beyond evidence. These lessons are not small. They are shaping you into the person you are meant to become. And this person, the one you are tempted to give up on, is part of that shaping. They may frustrate you, disappoint you, or even hurt you, but their presence in your life is not without purpose. Chosen one, there will always be people who tell you to let go. They will speak from their own wounds, their own disappointments, and their own limitations. They cannot see what you see. They cannot feel what you feel. But you must remember, your journey is not theirs to understand. What God places on your heart does not need outside validation. It requires your obedience, your faith, and your willingness to follow even when it makes no sense. That is the test of being chosen, trusting divine instruction over human opinion. Chosen one, it is important to recognize that not giving up does not mean accepting mistreatment. It does not mean losing yourself in the process. It means staying open to the lessons, the healing, and the growth that this bond is meant to bring. It means holding space for change, both in yourself and in them. It means refusing to walk away prematurely, even when the temptation is strong. The warning is clear. Do not dare to give up on that person, because what is being built through this connection has a depth that cannot be replaced. Chosen one, in time, you will see why you were asked to endure. The very person you once thought was holding you back may be the one who helps propel you forward. The relationship you thought was a burden may turn out to be a bridge. And when that time comes, you will look back and thank yourself for trusting the whisper, for obeying the warning, for holding on when everything in you wanted to let go. That is the power of divine timing. It turns pain into purpose, struggle into strength, and connection into destiny. Chosen one, there are seasons in your life when it feels like everything inside of you is urging you to move forward. Yet there is one bond that keeps pulling you back. You try to silence the voice, to convince yourself that letting go is the easiest way. But the warning in your spirit grows louder. That is not coincidence. That is God reminding you that some connections cannot be discarded so easily. They are stitched into the fabric of your destiny, and to unravel them would be to weaken the very design of your future. This is why every attempt to release this person leaves you unsettled. It is because heaven itself has said, "Not yet." Chosen one, you may ask yourself why this bond feels so heavy, why it demands so much from you, why it doesn't look like the easy relationships others seem to have. The truth is, easy was never your path. You were not chosen for what is simple. You were chosen for what is meaningful. And meaning often comes wrapped in challenge. This person, with all their flaws and all their struggles, has been placed in your life for a reason. They are a mirror that reflects not only their growth, but yours. They test your patience, but in that test, you learn endurance. They stir your emotions, but in that stirring, you discover compassion. They disappoint you, but in that disappointment, you learn to forgive. None of this is wasted. Every moment you wrestle with this connection, you are being shaped into the fullness of who you are meant to be. Chosen one, the bond between you and this person is not ordinary. It carries a spiritual weight that others cannot comprehend. People around you may look from the outside and judge. They may tell you to cut ties, to protect yourself, to move on. But what they cannot see is the thread of destiny woven between you. They do not hear the whispers you hear. They do not feel the pull you feel. They cannot understand because the connection was not given to them. It was given to you. And when God warns you not to give up, it is because there is more work to be done through this relationship, work that cannot be accomplished if you walk away too soon. Chosen one, understand that obedience to divine warning is never easy. It requires faith to hold on when the world tells you to let go. It requires humility to accept that you do not have the full picture yet. It requires strength to endure the uncertainty, the waiting, the discomfort of not knowing how it will all unfold. But this is what sets you apart. Your ability to trust, even when you cannot see, is part of what makes you chosen. While others act on impulse, you are guided by wisdom. While others walk away at the first sign of hardship, you are willing to stay, because you recognize that destiny is rarely convenient. Chosen one, your heart has been stretched by this person in ways you never expected. You have questioned them, questioned yourself, even questioned God at times. But still, you remain. And that is not weakness, that is faith. It is the ability to see beyond the flaws of the present into the promise of the future. It is the understanding that what looks broken today can become whole tomorrow. It is the courage to believe that change is possible, even when evidence says otherwise. That courage is rare, and it is why you have been entrusted with this warning. Do not give up. Chosen one, sometimes the people who test us the most are the ones who play the greatest roles in our destiny. They push us to grow, to transform, to rise in ways we never would have if left unchallenged. And though the pain is real, the reward is greater. This person is not a distraction. They are a lesson, a bridge, a key. The very connection that feels like it could break you may be the one that builds you into the strongest version of yourself. That is why you cannot let go prematurely. Because if you do, you will never see the beauty that comes from the struggle, the blessing that comes from the burden, the destiny that comes from the waiting. Chosen one, the warning is clear, and it is urgent. Do not dare to give up on that person. What you share with them is not accidental, not replaceable, not meaningless. It is a divine assignment, and as long as it remains in your spirit, it is proof that there is more to come. Hold on with faith, endure with patience, and trust that when the time is right, everything will make sense. Chosen one, there are times when the weight of carrying someone in your heart feels unbearable. You wonder if holding on is worth the sleepless nights, the tears no one sees, the questions that seem to have no answers. You tell yourself it would be easier to let go, to walk away, to free yourself from the constant push and pull. Yet when you try, something inside of you resists. That inner resistance is not weakness, it is divine strength. It is God Himself whispering into your spirit that this bond is not finished, that even in the struggle there is purpose, that even in the pain there is meaning, and that to give up now would be to step away from blessings that are being prepared for you through this very connection. Chosen one, you carry a heart that is different from most. While others give up quickly, you hold on. While others turn away, you look deeper. That endurance is what makes you rare, what makes you chosen. God placed in you a love that is not shallow, a patience that stretches farther than logic, and a faith that clings even when the outcome is uncertain. Those qualities are not by chance. They are part of your design. They are what allow you to be entrusted with warnings others may ignore. When God says, "Do not dare to give up on that person," it is because He knows you have the strength to obey. He knows you have the capacity to love beyond the ordinary, to believe beyond the visible, to persevere beyond the convenient. Chosen one, the one you are tempted to give up on is not perfect. They may have flaws that cut deep, mistakes that echo in your memory, actions that left scars. And yet, despite it all, you still feel their place in your journey. That tension is not a trap. It is a test. It is meant to refine you, to teach you how to hold space for imperfection while still believing in transformation. Letting go too soon would rob you of the growth hidden in this process. Because even as they change, you are changing too. The way you love, the way you forgive, the way you trust is being stretched and strengthened. That kind of growth cannot come through ease. It comes only through endurance. Chosen one, when you carry someone this deeply, it is natural to face moments of doubt. You ask yourself if you are imagining the signs, if you are mishearing the whispers, if you are holding on to nothing. But the persistence of this bond proves otherwise. If it were meaningless, it would not still press so heavily on your heart. If it were purposeless, the warnings would have stopped long ago. The fact that it remains is evidence that it is still alive, still working, still unfolding. And when something is alive, you do not bury it. You nurture it, even when the growth is slow, even when the process is hard. Chosen one, obedience to divine warnings often feels like walking in the dark. You cannot see the full path. You do not know how long the journey will take. But you keep moving, step by step, because you trust the one guiding you. This is faith in action, not blind hope, but a steady belief that the unseen is more real than the seen. And though you may stumble, though you may question, your persistence becomes a testimony. Others will look at your life and wonder how you continued when everything around you told you to stop. And in time, they will see the answer. Because you listened, because you obeyed, because you refused to give up when giving up seemed easier. Chosen one day the pieces will come together. The confusion will make sense, the pain will find purpose, the endurance will reveal its reward. And the very person you thought of abandoning will stand beside you as proof that patience and faith are never wasted. That is why the warning is so strong, because your destiny and theirs are still intertwined. To give up would be to step away from a future that is already written with both of your names. Hold on, believe, endure. Because what is ahead is greater than what is behind, and the story is not over yet. Chosen one, you have carried this burden longer than most people would ever dare. Many would have walked away by now, convinced that the pain was too much, the effort too exhausting, the confusion too overwhelming. But you are different. You are chosen. And because you are chosen, you have been given the strength to endure, the patience to wait, and the vision to see beyond what is obvious. That is why, even in your weakest moments, even when you whisper to yourself that you can't do this anymore, something inside keeps you standing. That something is divine guidance. It is the hand of God reminding you that this is not the end, that the story between you and this person has not yet reached its conclusion. Chosen one, every time you consider letting go, you feel a weight press against your spirit. It's as if heaven itself leans down to say, "Not yet." Do not give up. That weight is not punishment. It is protection. It is a shield that keeps you from making a decision you would later regret. And though it may frustrate you, though it may feel like you are trapped in cycles of waiting, understand that this waiting is not wasted. It is preparation. Both you and that person are being refined, shaped, and stretched in ways you cannot see. And when the time comes, you will understand why it took so long, why it felt so heavy, why it demanded so much. Chosen one, the bond you carry is not ordinary. It is sacred. That is why it feels so unshakable, so deeply rooted, so impossible to walk away from. You may not have asked for it, you may not have expected it, but it was placed in your life for a reason. And the reason is bigger than your feelings, bigger than your frustrations, bigger than your doubts. It is about destiny. It is about transformation. It is about becoming who you were always meant to be. And this person, the one you are tempted to abandon, is tied to that process in a way you cannot yet comprehend. Chosen one, understand that love, in its truest form, is not about convenience. It is not about what feels easy or effortless. True love is forged in fire, refined through trials, tested by time. That is what makes it unbreakable. And what you have with this person, as messy as it may seem now, is being forged into something that will withstand storms. Do not mistake the fire for destruction. It is the very process that is making the bond stronger, purer, more resilient. To leave now would be to step out of the furnace before the gold has fully formed. And gold, once refined, shines with a brilliance that cannot be dimmed. Chosen one, the people around you may never understand why you continue to hold on. They may look at the surface and see only difficulty. They may judge you, question you, even mock you for staying, but their vision is limited. They cannot see what you see. They cannot hear the warnings you hear. They cannot feel the pull that refuses to let you go. That is because this assignment was not given to them. It was given to you. And obedience to what God places on your heart is more important than the opinions of others. Remember, you are not living for their understanding. You are living for divine purpose. Chosen one, the day will come when all of this makes sense. When the person you refuse to give up on becomes a testimony to your faith, your endurance, your obedience. When others finally see what you always felt deep in your spirit, that this connection was not a mistake, but a miracle in disguise. And when that day comes, you will know without a doubt that listening to the warning was the best decision you ever made. Until then, walk with patience, carry your faith, and trust that every tear, every prayer, every sleepless night is not wasted. They are all part of the masterpiece being woven through your life. Chosen one, as you stand at this point in your journey, you may feel the weight of everything you have carried, every tear you have shed, and every prayer you have whispered into the silence. Yet even here, even now, the warning remains steady in your spirit. Do not give up on that person. It is not a casual suggestion. It is not a fleeting thought. It is a divine command meant to protect what is sacred, to preserve what is destined, and to remind you that some bonds are far too important to be abandoned. You were entrusted with this warning because you are strong enough to obey it, faithful enough to carry it, and patient enough to endure the process it requires. Chosen one, you must understand how rare this is. Most people walk away long before the blessing has time to unfold. Most people grow tired of waiting, weary of enduring, and quick to seek easier paths. But you are not most people. You were chosen precisely because of your ability to see beyond what is visible, to believe beyond what is certain, to hope beyond what is obvious. And that ability is what will carry you through this final stretch. Though the temptation to give up may rise again and again, your obedience will silence it, your faith will overcome it, and your resilience will prove stronger than every reason to let go. Chosen one, the very person you are holding on to may not even realize the depth of your sacrifice, the strength of your love, or the patience of your heart. They may not see it now, but one day they will. One day the veil will lift, and they will recognize that you did not abandon them when it would have been easiest to do so. They will realize that your persistence was not weakness but strength, not desperation but destiny. And in that moment, everything will change. The gratitude, the healing, and the transformation that flow from that realization will remind you why you were warned not to give up in the first place. Chosen one, the path ahead is not without challenges. There will still be moments of doubt, moments when you feel as though nothing is changing, moments when you wonder if you are holding on for nothing. But remember this, the strongest storms often come right before the breakthrough. The heaviest darkness often falls right before the dawn, and the most intense battles are often fought at the edge of victory. Do not misinterpret the struggle as failure. It is the final test before the blessing. Chosen one, as you close this chapter of the message, carry this truth with you. Your obedience has meaning, your endurance has purpose, and your love has power. The warning you have felt is not a burden meant to break you. It is a call meant to build you. And though you may not see the full picture yet, trust that one day you will. On that day, every tear will make sense, Every prayer will be answered, and every moment of waiting will be worth it. Until then, walk with faith, hold on with courage, and remember, you are chosen. And chosen ones never give up when destiny is still unfolding.